Hi, this is Ellie Jelly and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to crochet this beautiful triangle shawl. You can use any yarn you like. I chose this cake yarn by Yarn Art Flowers. The only thing you need to know for this shawl is how to chain, how to single crochet, how to double crochet, and that's basically it. It is very beginner friendly. It is a 2-row repeat, as you can see. One row is made of double crochets and the second row is made of double crochets and spaces, so basic mesh stitch or fillet stitch. At the end of the shawl you can see this beautiful lacy edging or border. You can add, again, it is up to you if you make it just simple, short, or a bit of extravagant like I did. For this tutorial I chose, as I said, yarn by Yarn Art called Flowers. Here you can see the color is 257, and you should use the recommended hook, which is 3mm hook. This yarn is washable in washing machine, but I strongly recommend not to do it if you don't want to destroy your work afterwards. And with that being said, let's get started. And one more thing, if you like my tutorials, please be so kind and subscribe to my channel, or just like the video or share it with your friends. Thank you very much. Take your yarn and your crochet hook and start with a magic loop, the way you are used to. I do it like this. And first of all, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you are going to you are going to crochet 3 double crochets into the magic ring. Yarn over, make the first double crochet, yarn over, make the second double crochet, yarn over, make the third double crochet. Now we are in the middle of the shawl, so we have to chain 2, and we are going to continue. Now we are going to crochet 4 double crochets. So yarn over, make the first double crochet, yarn over, make the second one, yarn over, make the third double crochet, and now we are going to make the last double crochet. Close the ring, and this is how your work looks like after the first row. Now we are going to start row number 2. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. The first chain of 3 counts as the first double crochet. Turn your work like this, and we are going to continue. Make 2 double crochets into the same first stitch. And this is how each and every single row is going to start, with this cluster of 3 double crochets. Now we are going to pick up the stitches. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 stitches from the previous row, so we are going to make 3 double crochets. Now we are in the middle of the triangle shawl. In the middle, you are going to make the following cluster, and the cluster is going to be made in every single row. So yarn over and make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Then you have to make 2 separation chains, 1, 2, and close the cluster with 2 double crochets, 1, 2. So the cluster of 2 double crochets, 2 separation chains, and 2 double crochets is always made into this hole. And we are going to continue. As you can see, we have 3 stitches where we are going to crochet the double crochets. So yarn over, make the first one, yarn over, make the second double crochet, and continue, yarn over and make the last one into the last stitch. You always have to end, because we started with a cluster of 3 at the beginning of the row, you always have to find the very last chain of 3, and you have to crochet 3 double crochets into the stitch, into the last chain. 1, 2, and 3. And this is what your work looks like after the second row. Now we are going to crochet the mesh stitches. So we are at the beginning of the row, so we have to chain 3, turn your work, and because we are at the beginning of the row, we have to make another 2 double crochets into the same first stitch. So at the beginning of each row, you have to start with this cluster of 3 made of 3 chains and 2 double crochets. And now we are going to make the mesh stitches. And this is always made by chain 1, skip the following stitch from the previous row and make a double crochet. And this is going to continue. Chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet. And as you can see, we have almost reached the middle of the shawl. As you can see, there is this last double crochet. We are going to skip this one. So again, chain 1, skip 1, and now because we are in the middle of the shawl, we are going to make the cluster of 2 double crochets, chain 2, and make another 2 double crochets into the very same space. 1 and 2. And we are going to continue making the mesh stitches. So chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet into the following stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet into the following stitch. Chain 1, skip one, make a double crochet into the following stitch, and we are almost at the end of the row. And as you can see, we have one double crochet left, and then this the initial chain 3 from the previous row. So again, chain 1, and now we are going to make the cluster of 3 double crochets into the very last stitch. And this is basically it. We are going to only crochet 2 rows, a row of mesh stitches and a row of double crochets. I will make 2 other rows with you, and the rest is up to you. But as you can see, it's really simple. The only thing you have to remember is not to forget to chain the cluster of 3 into the very first stitch at the beginning and end of the row, and in the middle of the shawl always make this cluster of 2 double crochets, 2 separation chains and 2 double crochets. And the common mistake is that some people want to make the double crochet here into the stitch. Don't do it, right? That would be a mistake. That's the basic mistake people make. So we are going to continue with 2 other rows, and I think it's really simple and you can continue by yourself afterwards. Row number 4, chain 3, turn your work, and we are at the beginning of the row, so make 2 double crochets into the first stitch. And this is the row of full double crochets, only double crochets. So yarn over, make a double crochet into the following stitch, yarn over, make a double crochet, and now we are going to make the double crochets into the mesh stitch, into the space. And again, make a double crochet into the stitch from the previous row, then the double crochet into the space, and so on and so forth. Just pick up the stitches, once into the stitch and once into the space. So, as you can see, we have just reached the corner or the middle of the shawl. And as we already know, we are going to make 2 double crochets, 2 separation chains, and another double crochets, 2 double crochets. And then continue by picking up the stitches. Continue making double crochets. It's really simple. One by one. And be careful at the end of the row. Again, don't forget that there is the chain of 3, so this one counts as a 1 double crochet stitch. So we're approaching the last one and into the last chain of 3, make 3 double crochets. One, 2, and 3, and this is the end of the row. It's really simple. Now you can see that the shawl is slowly forming. It's in a perfect shape. So continue like this. And we are going to start row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Row number 5 starts with chain 3, turn your work and make 2 double crochets into the same stitch. And this row is going to be made of mesh stitches because the previous one was made with double crochets only. So after the cluster of 3 double crochets at the beginning of the row, we are going to chain 1, skip 1 and chain a double crochet. And again, chain 1, skip 1 and make another double crochet. And this is how you're going to continue until you reach the corner or the middle of the triangle shawl. It's really simple. We're close to it. One more double crochet. We have done it correctly because, as you can see, there is this last double crochet from the previous row to be skipped. So chain 1 and now again the cluster. 2 double crochets, 2 separation chains, and 2 double crochets into the same space. And continue. Chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet, and so on and so forth. You already know it. It's really, really easy. Always chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet. You can always come back to my tutorial, choose the row you need, and if you forget something, you can always have something to refer to. So, as you can see, there are 2 double crochets left. I mean 1 double crochet and the chain of 3. So we have to skip this one and chain 1 and make 3 double crochets into the last chain of 3. And this is basically it. And because we have just made the basic triangle, you can continue to the length you want. It can be shorter, it can be longer, it's really up to you. You can change colors, you can do whatever you basically like. Don't put yourself into a box. And now I'm going to show you how to make the lacy border. It's, again, there is nothing that could be easier. it's just a chain of 3 and a single crochet, and that's it. And I'll show you this straight away. For the sake of this tutorial, of course, the triangle shawl, as you can see, is not finished, but I would like to show you how to crochet the border. It's really simple. So, first of all, make sure that you have ended the shawl with the row of double crochets. And now, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and make a single crochet into the following stitch. So skip 1 and make a single crochet. And again, chain 3, skip 1 and make a single crochet. Chain 3, skip 1, make a single crochet. Chain 3, skip 1, make a single crochet, and so on and so forth. And I'll meet you at the corner or in the middle of the shawl. So as you can see, again, there is this one double crochet to be skipped. So chain 3 and make a single crochet to the middle of the shawl. And again, chain 3, skip the first double crochet and make a single crochet into the following stitch. Chain 3, skip 1, make a single crochet, and so on and so forth. Chain 3, skip 1, make a single crochet. Continue until you reach the end of this row, and I'll meet you there. At the end of the row, as you can see, again there is this double crochet, so we are going to chain 3 and skip this one and find the chain of 3, and into the third chain make a single crochet. And that's the end of the row. And so now we are going to continue. Chain 3, turn your work and find the first space and make a single crochet into the space. And continue as you already know it. Chain 3, find another space, the chain of 3, and make a single crochet into it. Chain 3, find the next cluster, the next space, and make a single crochet. Chain 3, find the next one, make a single crochet, and so on and so forth. And I'll meet you at the corner or in the middle of the shawl. We're almost at the corner. As you can see, there are these 2 spaces. So again, we have chain 3, make a single crochet into the space, chain 3, and make a single crochet, and continue. Chain 3, single crochet into the space, and so on. As you can see, it's going to look like this at the corner. Chain 3, make a single crochet into the following space, chain 3, and again make a single crochet, and so on and so forth. And I'll meet you at the end of this round or row. And at the end of the row, again find the last space made of 3 chains. So as you can see, we've made the single crochet, so I have to finish with the chain of 3 and a single crochet into the very last space. And this is how it works. Again, chain 3, turn your work, and continue the way you've already seen. So, single crochet and chain 3 until you reach the desired length of your project or the border. So, good luck with the work. If you have any questions, don't forget to write a comment or leave a comment. I'll get to you as soon as possible and try to explain if anything's not clear, but I think it's really, really simple. It's really suitable for beginners. So just grab your crochet hook and start. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you liked it. If so, just give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.